at 107. Steelers been active.
Yeah, not off and on. He's around. He's just been giving out forced ones.
Okay, maybe hopefully I could catch him.
Is that how you
Right
play?
now, actually. Speaking of,
But be on headset.
but be on headset.
You send him an invite. I'll get this shit done.
I'm about to send them. But be on headset. Like, you butt bitch. Butt bitch.
We believe home is where the action is. With the FanDuel Casino app, you're only a few taps from...
Did I post that shit in the chat? I pull out both bowls and go up in they clothes. Short change niggas. Extortion came quicker. Bought the range, nigga. He used to be as strong as Ripple be. The little C's crippled me. Now I'm pretty hard like my girl's nipples be. The game sour like the cricket. You know the rules. Move from BK to New Jerusalem. All the brains we threw, bitches we ran through. 9 years new. I want my game flat. I want my spot back. Take two. Slugs missed ya. We ain't mad at you. Skibibbles injury report. D-Ron Adams, the middle linebacker, young gunner for the Baltimore Ravens, dislocated elbow, is out for another 3 weeks. He will be missing the first round of the playoffs. They should look to have him back if they continue on. They will have to win the division, the wild card round for them to see him back this season. As you're looking down, Saints, no injuries. Seahawks, Steelers, no injuries. Texas, good. Titans, good. Vikings, good. Bears, Bengals, Bills, Broncos, Browns, all Browns. Broken hand, cornerback Raheem Amos. Fucking maniac, put my name in raps. What part the game is that? Like they hustle backwards. Some Dutchies, you can't touch me. Rasheem Amos, cornerback, though, out for 6 weeks. 84 overall, broken hand. Another one of those young gunners. Buccaneers are injury-free. Cardinals are as well. Chargers, Chiefs, Colts, Cowboys, Dolphins, Eagles, Falcons. Football team is looking at a dislocated knee from Tyrone Leonard, their center, and an abdominal tear for their superstar diaper dandy Boye Mafe, out for 3 more weeks. Their season is over. 49ers, Andrew Leonard, their superstar DN, is out for 1 more week, dislocated elbow. Giants are injury free. Jags are as well. Jets, Antonio Gibson, 14 more weeks. Lions, Big Ray Davis is out for 1 more week on a torn labrum. Packers, Patrick Barner, the tight end, 87 overall, broken ribs, out for 4 weeks. Somebody funker ripped him up. Panthers are injury free. Patriots are injury free. Raiders are injury free. Rams are injury free. That's your injury report. Got some key guys out during key part of the season. That's why I relate to. Choke your ass out to your face blue. Safe 2. Alcoholic. Let my feet like salad. All right, when you look at the league and the standings right now, the Buccaneers are on top of the world right now at 15-1. The Bills are number 2 in the league at 14-1. Broncos are at number 3, 13-2. Giants are at number 4, 13-3. Cardinals are at 5 at 13-3. Patriots sitting at 12-3 at 6. Ravens are 7th at 11-4. Lions are 8th at 11-4. Eagles just took a loss to the Giants for that division. They're at 11-5 right now. Dolphins sitting at 11-5. They also are a playoff team right now. Eagles are as well. Saints looking for a playoff spot, 9-6. Niners 9-7, 12. 13 Chargers 8-7. Colts sitting at 9-7 right now. The Cowboys sitting at 500 at the number 15 spot. One game left. Got some teams, let's look at the divisions right now. The North is locked down. The Ravens got that division again. The South, Colts have finally won the division. Shout out to Mike and his Indianapolis Colts with young Desmond Ridder at the helm, winning the division for the first time and clinched themselves a playoff berth. So let's say shout out to Mike for that. Congratulations. Hard work pays off. You got your team into the playoffs with the young diaper dandy at the quarterback spot. Good shit. In the AFC East, you're looking at the Bills, Patriots, and Dolphins all fighting. Still, all are playoff teams. 3 teams again in that division makes the playoffs, with the Bills 1 game away from clinching the AFC East. I don't know who they play week 18, but they got us week 17. They can lose a game, and all they got to do is split their last 2 games, and they win the division. AFC West, Broncos are 13-2. Chargers are 8-7. They still in the playoff hunt right now. And the NFC side of things, you have the Lions 11-4.
You and the 49ers.
Okay. All right. So the Lions have clinched their division for the first time in a while. Actually, first time in this entire time playing between Game of Thrones and now Real Draft. They are the division champions right now. So shout out to Antonio and his Lions right now, sitting at 11-4. With the Bears, the mighty Bears on a 4-game losing streak, fighting for their playoff lives right now. NFC South, Bucks are 15-1, won the division again. And the NFC East, looks like the Eagles secured theirs. The Giants, secured themselves the division on a 6-game winning streak, beating the Philadelphia Eagles today in a big-time game that happened earlier, giving them a 13-3 record, 11-5 with the Eagles coming in second place. Both are in the playoffs, though. Both clinched playoff spots, with the Cowboys still fighting for their playoff lives. Cardinals sitting at 13-3. Niners are still fighting for their playoff lives as well. They got the Bills coming up after this week's advance. So there's still some hope for some guys out there. But the Cardinals have clinched the division once again. That's just standing. That's where we stand at right now.
Oh, the Saints just fucking blew it.
Just lost the game.
Running that dumbass RPO shit on the fucking goal line. He just blew it. 20. Well, it's not really. He didn't blow the game. He scored a touchdown. He's 35-34 against the Broncos. He went for 2 to make it a field goal, but he just threw. Oh, he got tackled. It wasn't a pick 6, but he just threw a pick for the 2-point conversion.
Okay. All right, so Jaleel Ruggs is on top of the MVP race, looking to crown himself MVP of the league for the 2nd time, with Kyler Murray chasing that. Howell Streets dropped down to 3. Joey Cummins slid up this list big time. You know, they put themselves in playoff mode for the last 6 games, and Joey Cummins has been the best running back in the league over the last 6 games. Bradshaw sits at 5. Got some good names up here. Ruggs played injury. I mean, probably would have separated himself if he had a healthy year all year, where it would have probably been out of reach. But I think with the touchdowns that he has this year, it's kind of hard. Maybe Kyler Murray with one more game left could try to push the envelope, but I just don't see too much of it changing with Jaleel Ruggs seeing the end zone as much as he has been, especially, you know, his last game. I'm quite sure he made sure he was a touchdown maker in that game to better solidify that. I think Jaleel Ruggs and their coach was actually looking forward to this award again, I guess, because my boy is on top of this list after being hurt. You wouldn't expect him to be here at all, missing 4. Well, how many games he missed? All 5 of them things, and he's still sitting here
Like 4 or 5,
chilling.
something like that.
That's sure.
4 weeks, I think. I think it was 4 weeks.
All right, so offensive player of the year is going to Javonte Williams at this point right now, with Chris Poole and Mike Weber fighting for that award. Danger Griffin, Ezekiel Stokes rounds off your top 5, but the top 3 that we're looking at are, you know, the Broncos, and then you got the Bills, and the Patriots. In the NFC, you're looking at Ruggs, Murray, Boseman, and Harold Streets, and then Joey Cummins rounds off your top 5, and the race is between the 3, Ruggs, Murray, and Boseman. Defensive player of the year, Brahim Wagner, man, a young kid, young gunner up there chilling. You know, his brother playing big, so is he. Irons, the $200 million man, is number 2. Kadeem Wagner is number 3. With Diaper Dandy Sauce Gardner and Mr. Dolo Solo Savage is at 5. And the AFC Defensive Player of the Year awards are Bubba Bolden, Isaac Taylor Stewart, and AI Anthony Israel for the Ravens. Ronnie Harrison is number 4, and then Eric Bolden, the defensive end for the Chiefs, is sitting at 5. All right, offensive rookie of the years go to David Bell. He's having a really good year. It's showing that he's the best rookie receiver in the league right now. Kenneth Walker is the 3rd, showing he's the best running back in the league as rookies, as the Diaper Dandies right now. De'Aaron King, you know, started off shaky, but he is playing pretty good. Got this team 11-5 right now. Desmond Ritter and then Jamison Williams are your top 5 to round off that top 5. In the NFC, your Diaper Dandies, offensive rookie of the year, Zeus Zamir White sitting at 1. Christian Watson for the football team sitting at 2. Velus Jones Jr., you know, Mr. Special Teams, and, you know, when he on the field, he make plays for this team. So he's sitting at 3. Dotson at 4, and Justin Rawls at 5. Defensive rookie of the year is going to Sauce Garner, Isaiah Palamayo, and then you got Devin Lloyd, your top 3, with Elijah Blades and Kobe Bryant rounding off your top 5. What happened?
Jimbo just lost by a field goal. He iced wide left.
Wow. He missed it?
34-35, wide left. Well, not even wide, split left. Oh my God, ouch.
That's big. That's a big win for the Saints.
Holy shit, yeah.
Huge win for them.
Especially because the Cowboys just lost.
All right, so your Diaper Dandies in the AFC are Bubba Bolden at number 1 right now. I'll tell the story at number 2. Bradley Riley Howes, Brad Hawkins, and then Derek Stingley are your top 5. The 3-man race is between Bolden, Taylor Stewart, and Bradley Howes for the Buffalo Bills. Best quarterbacks in the AFC are Mike Weber, Freddie Minor, Kellen Mond are your top 3. The fact that Freaky Freddy ass is up here says a lot what the Patriots are doing right now. I think they got themselves their quarterback, man. This guy is playing really well at the quarterback position for them. Opened their offense up big time. Mike Weber, you know, he's in his 2nd season underneath that Bills offense, and, you know, he's showing everybody at the Bills made the right decision going to him. Kellen Mond has been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the league. That's your top 3 in the AFC. NFC quarterbacks are Bradshaw at 1, Murray at 2, and Elijah Manning at 3. We see these names here all the time. I like the 4th and the 5 spots. The young guys out here. Mitchell Stockton for the Lions has his team winning. And Chris Evans, man, these guys, the record doesn't show what they do offensively, but they are very powerful offensively. That's your top 5. But between the top 3, this race is not over yet at all. Between Bradshaw, Murray, and Manning. All of them got their teams playing at a high level right now. All right, Jaleel Ruggs is the #1 running back in the NFC, #1 running back in the league. Could possibly be that as well. Streets is 2, Cummins is 3. Hits Israel, a guy we don't talk about as much as we should, I guess. Walter Payton Jr. is the 5, but your top 3 are Cummings, Streets, and Ruggs. AFC, your running backs are as follows: Javonte Williams, Danger Griff, Ezekiel Stokes. They're your top 3. Tony Moody stepped up after he, got picked up by the Browns. He's been playing lights out all year for the Browns. And then Casey Fields is sitting at number 5 right now. Your top 3 race between Williams, Griffin, and Stokes. The wide receiver pool goes first. Waddle is second. David Bell, the diaper dandy, sits in your top 3. That's your race between those 3. Zach Bowman for the Colts are sitting at 4, and Bolin at 5 in the AFC as far as receivers go. NFC, your receivers are as follow: Bo Smith, Fuck Bach, Dorian Parker are your top 3. Then there's Sheldon Work and P. Hand is sitting at 5. Offensive lineman, Clay Oates wants to win it for the 2nd time. Cordell Freeman is stepping up, gives him the top 2. Your next guys are Bucks players, Bailey and Wirfs. And then the Eagles round off that top 5 with Joe Franklin sitting at 5. In the AFC, your offensive linemen are as follow: Patrick Falk, Ben Grubbs, both Baltimore Ravens. And then it's the Bills show: Devine, Lloyd, and Bayard rounds off your top 5. D-line as follow: Eric Bolden, Jose Cuervo, Nick Nasty, Colt Young, and J.D. Green are your top 5 in the AFC as far as pass rushers go. In the NFC, they are sitting at Cumberland, #1, Angelo Falk at #2, Pat Teller at 3, Myles Garrett still holding it down at 4, and then Roy Farley at 5. Linebackers are as follow: Mac Kawanuka, you got Kadeem Wagner, Micah Parsons, Isaiah Simmons, and Zaire Blount stepping up at this point right now at 5. They're your top 5 in that NFC. AFC are as follow: Jeremiah Wilder, Roy Grant, Chris Rump II, Johnny Wilson, and then Tarquin Battle for the Bills. DBs are going as far as Bubba Bolden. Look like he wants to win this award. AI is #2 on this list. Ronnie Harrison is #3. Najee Israel is #4 on this list. And Deion Harris for the Colts are #5. Your top DBs in the AFC right now. NFC are as follow: Brahim Wagner, Christian Irons, Solo Savage, Sauce Gardner, and Ashari Croswell are your top 5 DBs. So that's your awards race. Let's look at stats right now and see who's doing what. All right, your passing leaders, your top 5 passing leaders are Chris Evans, Kyler Murray, #2, Elijah Manning, #3, Bradshaw, #4, Justin Herbert rounds off your top 5. Computer Love, so we go right down to DT Jr. right here as the 5 guy. Touchdown makers. Elijah Manning with 68 touchdowns. Kyler Murray with 67. Chris Evans with 58. Bradshaw 53. Tied with Mike Weber and Ritter with 53. Mon and D. Thomas also threw 50 touchdowns this year. Who led the league in INTs this year? Ward, Russell, Ritter, Montana, De'Aaron King, Malik Willis, Trevor Lawrence, all 40-40 club. All right, Russian. Who got the most carries on the year? Streets, Cummings, Savage, Peyton, Ruggs, Stokes are the guys that got the most carries in the league right now. We're looking at rushing yards right now. We got a 2,000 club right now. We got a couple guys with a couple games left that can possibly get to that 2,000 yard mark as well. So let's talk about it. Joey Cummings have reached that plateau already, 2,115, 7 yards a carry. Ruggs is behind him with 10 yards to go, 1990, 7.1 yards to carry right now. Javonte Williams is 1962. He's not that far off with a game left. He should touch the 2,000-yard mark at 7.4 yards to carry right now. So should Howard Streets. He needed a little under 100 yards to be able to get to that 2,000-yard mark as well with a game left, 5.8. Outside of that, I don't know if the rest of these guys can get there, but your next guys up here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We do got a legit 4 running backs that can get themselves to 2,000 yards before the season's next 2 games is over with. Mooney's here though. Stokes, Griffin is having a great year. So is Casey Fields. Your touchdown makers though. All right, Ruggs with 37 touchdowns, 27 from Walter Payton Jr. Streaks with 24. Casey Fields 23. Zeus, the diaper dandy, sitting at 23 right now. Stokes got 22. Danger Griffin with 22, Hits Israel with 22, Joey Cummins 21, and then you got Tim Hamlin with 21 touchdowns. They're the 20 or more club guys right there. Let's get to the receivers and see what the guys is doing. What we know about the guys that catch the ball at a high volume. No one's doing it more than David Bell with 103 catches, Boseman with 96, Alev 93, Waddle with 90, Carmichael 89. 99 Reasons with 81 catches. 79 for JoJuan Hudson. Glover out the backfield, 78. Pitta, the tight end, with 78. And Fuckback with 78. Let's look at the yards guys right now. All right, so we have 3 guys with 2,000 yards or more. And we got a couple of guys that could possibly touch that 2,000-yard mark. So we're looking at Chadwick Boseman, 2,553 yards. Looks like he wants to lead the league in receiving yards once more. Poole's behind him with 2,165. Fuck Bach with 2009. Waddle with 1962. Looks like he'll get that in his next game. Bowman 1888. He'll have to have a big game, but he can get to that 2,000 mark as well. The tight end 99 Reasons was 1781. Touchdowns 36 for Boseman, 30 for Fuck Bach, 28 Chris Pools, 27 for Waddle. The tight end, John Jenkins, 99 Reasons, 24, tied with David Bell, the rookie diaper dandy with 24. Zach Bowman with 21. That's your 20 club guys right there with the touchdowns. All right, defensively, let's see who tackling the shit out of motherfuckers and see what users has got players that are up here screaming. Wesley Snipes, I mean, a mixture between playing these games and users. Pan Piao, 110. You got Tyler White, 108, all user games. 105 for Isaiah Simmons. Devin Ward, in between user and computer love. Rashawn Lyons, computer love. CJ Westbrook with 100 tackles. Pierre Whitmore from the safety spot with 100. And then Kadeem Wagner with 100 tackles right now. Who leads the league in tackle for losses? That starts with Micah Parsons, 20. Jordan Williams, the D-tackle, has 18, along with Gabe Coles with 18. Pat Teller as well from the DN spot with 18. Safety, Chris Irons, 17 tackle for losses. He's balling. I guess he played and made that $200 million, I guess, because he played. He's doing a lot of different things. Max, this guy got stats from everywhere.
I guess. I mean, still $200 million man. You know what I mean? I think you got to follow it up with like seasons and seasons. You got to have like an Isaiah Simmons type career for it to be worth it.
All right. That's a lot of money played to one player, man. 20 club. We got one guy with Eric Bowman, the defensive end for the Chiefs, with 20 sacks. Cuervo right there with 17 and a half. Cumberland 17. Caught Young with 15 and a half. Mac Kawanuka with 15. Nick Nasty with 15 as well. You got Angelo Falk, 14 and a half. J.D. Green, 14 and a half. Isaac Teller Stewart from the cornerback position with 13 and a half sacks on the year. Greg Rose, 13 and a half. Justin Smith, 13. Your double-digit guys. Pat Teller, 12. Myles Garrett, 12 and a half as well. Calvin Green with 11 and a half. Roy Grant with 10 and a half. 10 and a half from Dwayne Johnson. 10 and a half from Demario Chambers. 10 from Will Lowry. 10 from Kenny Mack Jr. Michael Parsons with 10. I don't think we're missing anybody. Yep, Jake Watt was the one guy missing with 14. What about the NFC? Roy Farley, I think he was missing, yep, with 12. All right, let's get back to the NFL and look at the INT leaders. All right, so Brahim Wagner with 14 INTs on the season this year. 12 from Bubba Bolden, 12 from AI, the cornerback. Solo Savage at 12. Then you got the 11 club, Rodney Harrison, Chris Irons, Najee Israel with 10, Deion Harris with 10. We got a lot of 10s here. Eli Berry, 10, Croswell with 10, Reeves Allen with 10, Sauce Garner with 10. That's your 10 or double-digit guys, INT-wise right now. Let's look at deflections, too, so you winning that award. 14 for Tate Gowan. The old man, Sean Murphy Bunton with 11. Coach Shelton from the linebacker spot with 11 as well. Sean Wade 10, Martin Johnson 10, Primetime Sanders with 10, Kelvin Joseph with 10, and then Isaiah Pitts 10, Jalen Bay at cornerback for the Colts with 10 deflections. Who making guys give it up? All right, so Kadeem Wagner has forced 4 fumbles. Chris Samuels has forced 4 fumbles. Markel Terry has forced 4. Nick Nasty 4. And then you got your 3 club. To the cribs. Manny Montana has took 4 back to the crib this year. Najee Israel 3. Cash Money at the cornerback 3. And Raymond Riaz with 3 as well. And you got your 2 club going from there. Max, follow me right now. Talk to me, buddy, about the teams that are the 14 teams that are vying to get into the playoffs right now. We still got a big race from a lot of these teams. There's a lot of teams not on this in the playoff tree right now that still have a shot right now. Talk to me.
I want to focus, of course, I'm biased, of course, on the NFC side of the things. NFC always tight down the stretch as a conference. Not only as my division, but as a conference, it's always tight. Things changing a lot in that 6 and 7 range. Guys fighting for their lives. Some people getting lowballed and knocked out the playoffs. Some people knocking themselves out the playoffs, and quite frankly, some people that don't even, play to be in the playoffs. If you get my drift. So, I think we got all different types of ordinances of guys, but Saints with a big win might keep them at 6. Cowboys lose, but 49ers lose, so 7 could be a toss-up to Madden gods. I don't know if they played this year. I guess I could check that. I am
Well,
gonna go
the
check
Titans.
that.
I mean, the Niners are 9 and 7, I think, at this point. Or 9 and 8. They might be 9 and 8.
I'm about to go see. Hold on, let me. Niners are 9 and 7. The Cowboys are
8 and 8. They 500 right
8
now.
and 8. Yeah.
So what's going to happen is it's going to come down to what happens in the Bills 49ers game at Advance. And then the Cowboys are still playing, but you got the Saints. I think the Saints is comfortable. All they got to do is they just won 1 game. I think the Saints can lose and still be in the playoffs. They won't go no further than 7. Sitting at 6 is a comfortable spot for them to be at right now with 1 game left because they just won their Week 17 matchup against the Broncos. So that put them in a situation where they're at the 6th seed. I don't think that changes when we advance. And when we advance, they have 1 game left. I don't know who their opponent is with that 1 game left. But that puts them in a good situation. I think they can lose a game, although they don't want to lose it. But they can lose a game and still be at least the 7th seed, I would assume. But the 7th seed in the NFC is the problem right now. There's a few teams that's vying for that 7th spot right now. I'll come out and let's take a look at, who's actually playing for that 7th seed still. Who should be lining up and playing their game and not letting the computer play. All right, so the teams that are in for sure are the Bucks, Giants, that's 2, 3, Cardinals, Lions, and Eagles, that's your 5. So we're looking at the Saints, Niners, Cowboys, Panthers, and even the Bears still have a shot to get in the playoffs right now. So here's where you're looking at it at. Between 7th and 6th is right here. So let's look at the Panthers. Saints are 10 and 6. Again, a loss keeps them somewhere between 6th and 7th. The Niners, if they lose at advance to the Bills, that'll leave them at 9 and 8. which will give the Cowboys a shot to still make the playoffs as well as the Panthers, as well as the Bears. So the Bears haven't played their game yet. They need to play that game. The Panthers have played their game. No, they haven't played their week 17 game yet either, I don't think.
No, the Panthers play the Chargers.
Okay, so that's a forced win. So the Panthers will sit at 9-7 at advance. The Bears, who the Bears got?
Texans.
Texans is tanking, so that gives the Bears 500, 8-8. So it's going to be between the Bears, the Panthers, the Cowboys, the Niners, and the Saints for the last two spots over there in the NFC, which is 6 and 7
Panthers'
spots.
last game is against Rob.
That's huge. What do the Eagles do knowing that they in the playoffs? Are they playing their start? You know what I mean? Like, what happens in that game? They're in. No matter what happens with them, they're in.
I probably sit my starters for the most part. The guys you want to roll into that you might want to need, that you might feel need a little push to roll into the playoffs, maybe play them a little bit, but the guys that's good, the guys that's hot, the guys that's ready, sitting the shit out of them. Injuries is alive. Injuries is real this season. Sitting the shit out of them. Fatigue is real.
I mean, I can't argue with that statement. I can't argue with it, but at the same time, if you're the Eagles, you want your team playing for the most part too, for the experience playing, because they got to get over that hump. They've been here before playoffs. They want to win games in the playoffs this year, and for them to win games in this playoff, they need their team playing football. And at the same time, you got to take in consideration what can happen injury-wise. Guys getting hurt, key guys being hurt late can really hurt your playoff run as well too. When you're not playing for anything, it doesn't change anything. So when you're not playing for anything, it might not, at this time with the injuries on, it might be best to sit guys. Play some guys, maybe give them a quarter or two, like something like that.
How about I said, like a half, quarter? It could just depend.
Now, you're looking at the Saints sitting at 10-6. I think they're in a situation, lose or win, they're good, but I think this team got to play everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Niners, if they're trying to get in the playoffs, they need to play everybody. Cowboys is going to play everybody, and the Panthers got to play everybody. Who knows what the Bears are going to do? But these are the guys that are fighting for that 6 and 7 spot. So the race is very interesting over here in the NFC because we have a few teams that have an opportunity. And I would really like to see the Eagles go out there and play, the Panthers go out there and get themselves in the playoffs. I want to see that, right? They haven't made it yet. Can we get 3 teams from the NFC South, NFC South for the first time?
Fuck no. I got Rob beating the Panthers.
Obviously I would never want Rob to lose a game. I'm a root for him before, a lot of guys. But what I'm saying is, for the league, I would love to see the Panthers fight themselves into a playoff spot.
I guess, yeah. For the league. When you put it like that. Because the Saints have made it before, so yeah, I would like to see that for the league. Actually, that's a fair statement.
All right, so the NFC, you'll have the Buccaneers waiting for their opponent, and then in the wild card, you'll see 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, where we're looking at 7 in that 6 spot possibly changing over there in the NFC. Now, on the AFC side, things are interesting. I think the Broncos just lost a game, but they're still straight. I think they had, 2 losses on the year?
Broncos are, 13-2 now. Well, no, 13-3, excuse me.
Yeah, so they're good. Nobody really can jump them except for nobody can jump them. Patriots can't even jump them, even though I think the Patriots only got 3 losses, but the problem is the Bills only got 1 loss. So, if the Patriots can win out, and let's say the Bills lost their last 2 games, they could be the number 1 seed or the Broncos can jump back up to that number 1 seed. So the Bills got to play players as well, because if they want to be the home team throughout the playoffs, then they need to finish strong, playing the Baltimore Ravens this week, and then they got the Niners to round off week 18. The Broncos are sitting at 2. The team that's in the way right now are the Chargers. Hopefully, if Corey makes the playoffs, he has to play these games, man. He got to play his game. So we had to get him active. He hasn't really been active at all. Somehow still made the playoffs. over here in the AFC. The Colts are sitting in the playoffs for the first time. They'll match up against the Patriots at this point. Um, Things could change between the Patriots and the Dolphins. For the most part, or they stay the same. It looks like the Dolphins are 6 seed right now. How many the Dolphins are 11-5 right now, right? And the Patriots play the Seahawks, and who else you got, Nano?
The Dolphins are 11-5. Yeah,
Who
Patriots
who
are
who Patriots guys?
12-3.
Who he guys last 2 games?
Seattle and give me a sec.
The Patriots. Oh,
Yeah, they got Seattle
they play
this
the
week, and
Dolphins
next week
week
they got
18. Seahawks
oh
and the
shit.
Dolphins. That's why I just came on, y'all. What's up?
What's going on, Snake?
Yeah,
All
Patriots,
right.
Just
Dolphins.
came
Yeah,
The
on.
problem is this: if the Seahawks can't steal a win against the Patriots, it doesn't even matter if the Patriots lose to the Dolphins week 18 because they'll still only have 4 losses. So that will pit them. They'll keep them at 5 no matter what. So it looks like the 4 seed. What's Mike's record?
He a division winner, so he locked in at 4.
I know, but what's his record?
Uh, I was on schedule. The Colts is 9-7 right now.
All right, yeah. So they're going to stay at 4 because they're division winners. You're right. I was saying because I got 2 games left. Even if I lost 2, it wouldn't change anything. I'll still stay at 3. And even winning these last 2 really wouldn't change anything because I have 4 losses. Unless the Broncos go out and lose their last game, but they still have the head-to-head matchup over us. So looks like for the most part the positions will stay the same here. Bills, all they need to do is win 1 out of the last 2 games, and they'll be hosting all playoff games at their house throughout the playoffs until they lose. So that's your playoff picture. That's what's going on
15.
around the league right now. The 14 teams that's in the picture right now. That doesn't necessarily mean those 14 will still stay the same. I don't even know if the Chargers lost their last 2 games, would they still be in the
4,
playoffs right now?
5.
Let's take a look at that.
The Chargers look like they could lose 1. I mean, the Chiefs.
Ideally, we
Who the
want them
Chiefs play
out
this?
of it. We want them out the playoffs ideally because this is computer game winning right now because Corey not playing. So look at the AFC. Bills,
Chiefs. Who the
Broncos.
Chiefs? They the
All right, so
only
the
people that can take
Chargers,
this spot.
Colts. All right, so yeah, so we need the Chargers can lose twice. Chiefs have to
Who the
win.
Chiefs play the last 2 games?
Do they
They
have
got
to
to win
win
both
both their
these
games? Yeah, they
games.
got to win both those games. Who they play?
Going back to the schedule. Chiefs played last 2 games. They got they lost to the Bucks this week. They play the Titans. They just lost
So
to the
even if
Bucks.
they
They play the
finish 8 and
Titans.
9, and the Chargers finish 8 and
Chargers
9,
last game is the Raiders, and then they play the Panthers this week.
They play the
Panthers
Panthers and
this
the
week,
Raiders.
Raiders next week.
yeah, so the Panthers will be getting the forced win, and then it'll be a 50-50 because both these teams. Now I don't know. I think the Raiders because he been active, he get to decide, bro. See,
The
this
Raiders
is
play
suck. The Raiders,
the
he plays. He's active. Is tanking and being active is 2 different things than just not playing games, not doing anything. So I don't think he gets
right.
the benefit of the doubt to say I want the forced loss here. So if the Raiders decide to take the forced loss here, the Chargers will be in the playoffs, and we'll have a computer team in the playoffs. Hopefully, we can get Corey to play that game. I would hate for that to happen, but hopefully we can get him to play that game. So, all right. So that means Tata had a couple games he could have played that he didn't play. Probably would have got him in. All right. Well, that's that. That's your playoff picture right now. That's what's going on amongst the league right now. Let's have a conversation. Let's involve everybody that's around right now, that's on chat with me right now. Snake, give me your 3 teams that, in your opinion, has been the most improved teams.
Oh shit. See, first I guess you'll start to see if you have any off the top, without going real deep, I think the first thing I would look is at the first. I mean, one of the things I look at, we'll have to look at, is there any real first-time playoff or new playoff teams in there? And I guess that will yet be determined on the NFC side. You got the Lions up there, who's won their division, so that's definitely an improvement, regardless how you look at it. So you had to put the Lions up there. The Eagles, we can even say he's had an improvement because he's actually was fighting for the division for the first time, I believe. Just up until their game today, and even though he made the playoffs the last 2 years, he still made a nice improvement over there.
Okay.
Yeah, NFL.
I honestly would still stay on the NFC side and go with the Saints.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because he would be in the playoffs kind of too. Like, that's why I say we kind of like. I think he's actually locked himself in, but I don't know if that's improved or actually just playing all his games. I know sometimes it seems like sometimes he be on and off.
I agree.
So I just was kind of like trying to double look to see, because like we've had some teams that have been improved that haven't even made the playoffs in years. You know what I mean? So like,
what about the Colts? Do you think the fact that, you know, do you cut him some slack, or do you dig deep because the Jaguars didn't really play this year?
I mean, you had two computer teams over there most of the year, right? The Texans ain't played no games at all, and the Jaguars. So like, that's actually half his wins. Like, technically that'd be. I mean, technically you almost say that he ain't really. Yeah, I mean it's alright, but
That's four out of how many wins he got right now?
He got 9 wins right now. That's
four out of 9 are to the computer in his division, because Jaguars wasn't active this year because they were moving.
So you kind of win. You kind of win your division by default, automatically. Period.
I just throw them out there. They are in the playoff for the first time.
Same token, you got Mike. Then actually, you know, he improved his game a little bit, so he's been hovering. You can almost say, like, if you take them 4 computer games, would that be a little bit down, backward? You gotta, you understand what I'm saying? I can't. He probably around the same area, really. He just had a couple computer games because he's been winning a couple more games. You know what I mean?
In my opinion, he's definitely been one of an improved team. This guy's been playing really good football. You know,
overall improved team. Yeah. Through the whole this year, he's definitely one of the more improved teams. But I mean, just this season, I'm just gotta look to see who else, because half them division, he's already been second in that division basically normally. You know what I mean? So them couple of games is automatically swinging. So you automatically gonna win a division off that. I just was really looking to see, is there anybody on the outside in really, or I mean, like. I'd say you almost have to wait, because, like, let's say if the 49ers was to play their games out these where they played last night, if they could pull a win off, I think they in, right?
But I think his situation is self-made, bro. Like, he self-put himself in these situations, versus being improved or not. They, you know, a lot of stuff that he do over there is computer based. The draft for him, he played half his games, missed the other half, depending on how his season going. So I think it's self-made. I think the Niners, when they're locked in and they playing, they one of the better teams in the league. When they're not locked in, you get this mid-shift shit. And because, you know, the NFC has been top heavy for a while, and it's starting to change a little bit, starting to see some of these teams stepping up. It's going to put him in a situation where you're not going to be able to get away with missing 4 or 5 games and still making the playoffs.
Relying on computer, winning fair sims and shit. I don't know. So you might just got to stop right there, like what we said. The Lions definitely, somebody else besides D. Weston won that division. And like you say, the Saints look like he kind of been all the way locked in this year. And then Rob, you know, he been contending for that. He definitely will finish second in the NFC East, but I don't think he can win the division now. But just up until, you know, their game today, he was actually had a chance at the division. So that's definitely, he's been playing better ball this year. So like I mean, you might kind of just stop it right there for now. That could change. I guess that could change. You know, come the last week, depending on playoff seed, see if what teams get in the playoffs and actually make the playoffs or not. Because we might say one of them teams don't make it, but I guess they all locked in. All them locked in. But you might just have to stop right there. The Eagles, Lions, and Saints. Saints had a big win versus the Broncos. They said he get the win versus the Broncos, right? The game just dropped or something. Oh well, yeah. Might stop right there. Look, if he's been locked in all season. Is anybody else you thinking?
Nah, that's why I asked you. I like the Saints, but I also like your argument on why not the Saints too. At the same time, I really, I get, I'm gonna be biased a little bit. I kind of still favor Mike in my top three most improved teams because I've seen the change in the last 4 or 5 seasons. The problem is it's been up and down. He made that step about 4 seasons ago. He made that step. Then he took a 2-year hiatus where it just didn't work out for him. And then this year he was in the way of him is the fact that the Jaguars just wasn't active this year. So it hurts, but I seen the improvement from everything he's doing. Here's why. This is why I'm gonna say that. Just follow me for a second. When you look at top passers in the league, yards wise, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's top 10 in passing the ball yards wise. Touchdowns. He has a guy that's in the top of everything right now. Touchdowns. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6 in the league in touchdown passes. All right, let's go to the run game. We might not find a running back from him in this top 10 at all. But when we go to receivers, we'll see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's outside of that. How about touchdowns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Outside of that, receivers. Let's even stay with catches for right now. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in that 10, there's a few computer teams I saw up there. Let's look at yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5. Let's go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Nobody's there. All right. Touchdowns. He has a receiver in the top 10. Touchdowns. He has a receiver in the top 10. Bowman. Anybody else? He got 2 of them in his top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, he got 1. All right. 1 in the 15, 1 in the 10. All right. Then you go to the defensive side of things. You're just seeing a bunch of, and this is not me being back at the awards. It's just me being
right. Going to
the yard
of defense.
What he doing number wise right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He got linebacker 8th in the league in tackles. Tackle for losses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nobody's there. Sack wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got somebody there in the top 10 in interceptions. Somebody in deflections. And that's not me going to the award race. He got players all over the award race too. And that's the improvement I'm talking about. You know, a guy that never had guys up there for stats and not like that. He's playing better. And I get it. He got some computer games as well.
But we gave him, I only thing we talking about this season. We've been giving him his credit for stepping up in the season. Like you said, he stepped back in the season. So like one thing on the schedule I do wish he would show is like just like when we was cracking on Falk hard about computer games, and you know it'll show you a schedule or whatever, but it don't really show. But I mean, like I guess like when you get your players rolling, we talk about like doing them sims, them players they rolling and morale. How he definitely did this doing his thing, but he just the more half your wins is computer wins. You can't really say that none of your wins like shit. He got a couple of decent wins on this thing, but ain't none of them teams in the playoffs, so like it's half the game. Like even in the sim, his wide receiver got 300 yards in the sim, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns in the sim off 6 catches. But I guess that go to show how much he been shitting with Bowman.
Yeah, because
So,
Bowman he been up there for the Warriors for about
for the last couple of years, right? He been up there for some seasons. Yeah, I know. Overall, this Mike definitely one of the more improved players in this disc. Period. But when you were just talking, I thought you were just talking about more like just this season per se. That's all. That's why
Yeah,
it ain't his fault, but
overall,
it ain't really his fault that ain't nobody. You know, it ain't his fault that they out. But I mean, like I just would still had to lean a little bit more toward the Saints. Even the Saints probably done played more games. You know what I mean? They done played more of their games this year. That's all. But I mean, he in the playoffs and he won the division. Shit, no matter how the fuck you did it. That's all that mattered. Congratulations to Mike. This is his first year in the playoffs. That's what's up. He locked that shit down.
When you think about positions, we always go through the offensive side of things, and we pull out our top fives. I want to try it this time defensively. When you think of pass rushers, anybody that's part of this show right now, you know, even in the chat, if you in the comment section, throw a name out there, and we'll dig into it. But Snake, when you think about pass rushers in this league right now, guys that got their hand in the dirt, guys that are coming off the edge, whether linebackers, outside linebackers, or defensive ends, or even D tackles right now, give me a guy that comes to mind right away as, you know, super elite and could be the best pass rusher in the league, in your opinion.
That shit varies
that hard?
Yeah, like
it does vary.
It's real hard. I think it's like I mean, even in that, I don't even really think you could say it's a top one. It's probably like a tier. It might even be a top 5. Like
right. But let me put it to you like this: there's guys in this league that come to mind right away when you think
come to mind right away. I think one constant name we had is Pat Taylor, the dude from the Bears.
It's a great name to bring up right now. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Shoguns, do me a favor. Comment section, put Pat Taylor's name in the comment section so we know we got him to talk about.
Damn,
right,
even Taylor. I know Pat Taylor, another dude I think we've seen a couple of times, but like you say, he on and off a little bit sometimes. What's the guy in the 49ers got one of them guys?
Andrew Leonard.
Yeah, but he done fell off he fell off a bit this year. We ain't heard too much from him this year. He only got 8 tackles for loss and 6.5 sacks. But up until this year, I guess he actually been doing. He was around up there. He was up there.
Give me a name, Max. A pass rusher that's like, oh my God. When you line up and play this guy or you watch games, that guy stands out.
Cumberland. I might go Cumberland.
Jeremy Cumberland. Okay, Guns, put that there. Jeremy Cumberland for the Arizona Cardinals. Okay.
He always got somebody on there. What's old boy with the Bucks? Since he's been with the Bucks.
Since he's been with the Bucks, Carmichael.
Carmichael.
Yeah, I would say Carmichael low key. I gotta go over to the AFC and really think about it though, because that's the problem with I can't.
I'm gonna go Black Saragusa.
Oh shit, I'm tripping. Oh yeah, because you're D tackle. Anyone from the D tackle that got 100 tackles in a season.
He said pass rusher, so I'm thinking about the sack part. But he does get around like 15.
He still had 20 tackles for loss that season, right, Ant?
And 36. He had 36 in one season.
He had 36 tackles for loss that particular season. So
13 and a half sacks that same year.
Kind of crazy. Oh,
so I'll insert Saragusa. Shit, I might insert Jose Cuervo on an active team, low-key.
But the problem is it's not an active team. Jose Cuervo is all computer love. He's a dog. Don't get it fucked up, but he's a dog.
That's why I'm like, yeah.
Put Saragusa up there. Put Saragusa up there. Michael Parsons. I like that. I like
definitely
Parsons. Which we talking about pass rushers. How about Justin Smith for the Jaguars?
That's the D tackle. His D tackle.
That motherfucker always up there.
The one thing about it, I was going to say, I had to go.
Are we going to separate edge rushers from interior? Are we going to separate edge rushers? He got 2
Smiths over there. That be dog and shit.
How about we do this? How about we separate it from edge rushers to interior? So we're going to give D tackles their own category. So let's talk about the edge rushers. I like Micah
All right.
Parsons. I
Don't the
like
Jags got two Smiths? One's a DN, and I don't
he
know
got
which
two
one
of them. He
necessarily
got
be
Smith the
shitting. He
fourth,
got two Smiths, but I
Justin
think both
Smith,
of them
and
be doing a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. The
Let me
D
be
tackle
saying.
I think is the guy though. I like Nick Nasty too. I like that. I like Nick Nasty. It's consistency. It will come down to consistency when it comes down to Nick Nasty, right? How consistent has he been since he's been a starter? Let's go to sacks.
Definitely need to put Parsons in
Rock
that
Gray,
bitch.
that's inside. Let's stay outside right
That's
now. I like Rock
interior.
Gray. All right, so Nick Nasty, since his rookie year, he didn't start. He had 23 tackle for losses, 12 and a half sacks in his starting season. Followed that up with 12 and 12, 14 and 16 and a half. Yes, he's here, bro. You gotta mention him. 12 tackle for loss, 19 sacks, and right now he got 10 tackle for loss and 15 sacks. Yeah, I like him. Nick Nasty. Go ahead, Guns. Put Nick Nasty there too as an outside pass rusher. Jeremy Cumberland, Nick Nasty. Let's go look at Michael Parsons.
The one year his tackles or sacks or something was down is the one season that Parsons played middle linebacker, but I think his tackles was way up.
Parsons leading the league right now
Other than that,
in tackle for losses. He's leading the league right now in tackle for losses. All
he
right, so
definitely been
since
consistent
Michael
though.
Parsons been in the league, year one, 10 and 14, 6 and 12, 15 and 14 and a half, 6 and 8 and a half, 11 tackle for losses, 6 and a half sacks. But these was middle linebacker days. Remember, he got moved all over the
Those was
place.
middle
Middle
linebacker.
linebacker days.
Those two.
But on
That's
the
why his
edges,
tackles up
13
more.
and 16 and a half, 15, 12 and a half, 20, 10. Yeah, so let's go Nick Nasty, Jeremiah Cumberland, Michael Parsons. Is there any other outside linebackers that we can talk like that for? What about Oweh?
I mean, what about Chase Young? I'm tripping. I know. I mean, you
Yeah,
got
I was
Chase
gonna
Young
say
as
Chase
well.
because
And
Montez
not
isn't
to
on that team
mention,
anymore.
I mean, you still might got to throw Montez in there because he was shitting with the Skins. He had a little bit lower year last year, but ain't he back up shitting with the Vikings? So like, let's go. And then
He
Parsons
didn't
on
play
normal
last
right
year.
I
now.
mean, he was with the
But he still,
Vikings for a
I
period of
know
time
he
on the
went down. I
activity.
know he went down
Yeah.
last year,
He didn't
but
play.
I mean, he still had like 3 or 4 sacks. I think though. When I looked,
Yeah,
I
but
believe.
I mean, it was just the feeling for when the other guy wasn't playing.
How about
But this,
Bradley Chubb?
It was the Falk show last year.
it was. Yeah, he was. Shit, that's right. When we
Let's
said
look at
something about
Bradley Chubb
Montez,
on the edge. You looking at
I
Bradley
think Falk
Chubb
was
since
a #1
2021?
lineman in the league, right?
How about this one? Ready? Bradley Chubb since
Chubb.
2021. 13 tackle for loss, 16 and a half sacks in 2021. 22 he had 10 and 8 and a half. 23 he had 8, 15. He had 9, 19 and a half, 9, 18, 7, 15, 8, 16, 13, and 9 and a half. Got to put Bradley Chubb in that conversation. Nah, I mean, we're not looking at fucking Hall of
I
Fame
mean, it's
numbers.
consistent, definitely. I mean, yeah,
Definitely
it's definitely
consistency.
consistent and high.
Who else? Give me another name.
What's Chase Young numbers? Go look at Chase Young numbers. I know he
Some of
had
these
some 20
guys,
sack
some of these
seasons.
guys are, it sucks because the computer do a lot of the shit as far as gameplay wise.
We got 11 this year. He had 12 and a half last year.
Who we talking
4.
about?
Chase Young.
What's
I'm
his
on him
tackles
right
for loss?
now.
Tackles for loss
It
Tackle
and
for
don't even,
losses.
sacks.
listen. You got to put Chase Young in that category.
You got him
Period.
because he
He
been
changed
consistent. He done
games
had 20
all year.
sacks. Like he don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He fucking. He's the problem. He might
I
be
ain't
one.
gonna.
Might be the
And that's
best defense
and
end
that's
in the
and
league.
that's the only reason I even brought up Montez Sweat because even like you talking about consistency over a period of time. Like even though he had like you say he ain't played last year, he still had a couple of sacks. You just gotta look at his stats. He was consistent, and he back playing again. Think he back in double digits even on normal. I just say just look
Chase,
at him.
2021, 15 sacks, 6 tackle for loss, 6 tackle for loss, 13 and a half, 1 tackle for loss, 20, 9, 16 and a half, 6, 17. And 26, he had 4 sacks. I don't know if he even played this year. He must have been, I don't know what was going on here, 7 and 4. But then he comes back last year with 6 and 12 and a half, and right now 7 and 11. He's been very consistent outside of 2026. He's been consistent double-digit guy as well. Tackle for loss is not crazy, but he's a pure pass rusher. Kind of, Chase Young is, when you start the league, he's the best or one of the best pass rushers in the league right away. Anyway, and they flip flopped every year between him and Montez Sweat every year. When he balling with Angelo Falk took right over for Montez Sweat. He got 12 tackle for loss, 14.5 sacks this year.
I think he the best. I think he rated as the best defensive lineman against the Wards. When me and you was talking about Montez before, I think I went and looked like last week. I think Angelo Falk was the best D lineman in the NFC. So I ain't he dog and shit. It's kind of better when other people say stuff because that means they done had some errant throws from some stats that's not showing on some of these players. No, that's just say under pressure. Your
How
man
many
throw a
times? I was gonna say,
goofball.
how many times under pressure throws happen where you just throw a bad pass because a motherfucker in your face? Like they should show that stat, like hurries and shit
They
like
should
that.
show, they had like rush or hurry passes or something because like I'm sure Chase Young will have some more. Like and I'm sure Max can attest to this. It don't matter how games look, whatever. Like it was a period of time where like Chase Young, you had to worry about Chase Young and Montez. Period. And then they both had like 20 sack seasons one time. Like the only other person I think that we really did that with their D line was Falk. The
Yeah,
Cardinals, if I'm
Cardinals did that. Yeah.
he had 3.
When you look at let's go back to tackle for losses for a second. It's not easy for the outside edge rusher, especially the outside linebackers as well as the DNs. But when you look at flat out pass rushing, a dominant player, I think we're kind of in the ballpark of the names that we had pinned on the comment section. A lot of these guys are, a computer assistant, meaning they playing computer games and not
Throw somebody out there right quick. I
themselves.
forgot.
Let's look at Justin Smith.
I was going to say, you look at the Seahawks guys too. I just know they always have an outside linebacker or edge rusher between them linebackers, Reed and Shelton. Same thing with the Lions. They always have an outside linebacker. I think on the awards at the end of the year.
I mean, Justin Smith been consistent double digits as well. His rookie year, he had 8 sacks, 2 tackle for losses, but then he had 8, 15, 10, 14 and a half, 6, 10, 10 and 10, 8, 9 and a half, and then right now he got 15 with 13.
That's the Jags.
Yep, Justin Smith.
Yeah, that's why I said. Yeah, that's why I said both the Smiths. I know but we changed the outside. So yeah, I ain't. He been consistent. He been consistently up there.
I think you got to throw Bradley Chubb in that category out of edge rusher in the top elite. I mean, this guy, he since 21, he hasn't had nothing under double digits. Just the tackle for losses is not crazy out of him, but it's like Chase Young. I didn't realize Nick Nasty was so consistent the way he is. He's definitely consistent as fuck. Since year one, he really wasn't a starter. Then he just took off from there.
I think we constantly seeing his name on the awards
all
Nasty.
the time.
Yeah, he
Let's
constantly been on.
let's do that. Let's go to the D-line award race real fast.
You want me to go to the one of us to go to the awards so you can stay on stats if there's anybody stats you want to go to.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, somebody go to the awards, I'll go to the stats.
That way
I'll
we
stay
can
on
see if
stats.
they defensive ends. So you want defensive ends and pass rushers? I mean,
Right.
defensive ends and linebackers first.
Right.
All right.
Well,
D-line,
the
AFC.
D-line ain't gonna show linebackers. It's gonna show all the D-line.
It's gonna show the D ends. All right.
All right.
All right. So the top 10. One is Eric Bowden from the Chiefs D-line.
Stay there. Let's stay there. Chiefs.
Yep. Eric Bowden.
Now, he'll fall under the category as no user has been consistently playing with that guy. Because when his reign started, Rich the Barber actually wasn't, a lot of it was computer. Yeah. So let me see. I'll dig into him, though. He leading the league in sacks right now with Ty. So he came in the league in 22. he just started playing well. I mean, 9 and 25, 9 and 9, 11 and 9 and 26, and his last 2 years been outstanding. 29 tackle for losses, 16 and a half sacks, and right now he's sitting at 8 tackle for losses and 20 sacks. So I don't consider him.
It's a computer team.
Yeah, he's starting like
we skipping over him.
he's later in his career, balling out right now. That's what we'll say to him. He's a
You're
baller.
talking more for consistency, longevity, consistency type thing,
Right.
or a little longer.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
so the second one on the list will be Jose Cuervo.
He's gonna fall under that same category as
Same thing,
computer
right?
games and shit. Like, but he's a baller. But the problem is, again, he's gonna fall under all of this is computer stats.
All right, so number 3.
So yeah, go to number
you
3.
looking at him. Right. Number 3 is Nick Nasty.
Nick Nasty.
And
we
like
already
you say,
showed
he's
him.
been up here and he's active. He looked at his jumps. He's in the third one.
We already got him on the list, so we know what he
Right,
did.
got him. Fourth one is Court Young.
Caught Young. Computer 2. Keep going.
J.D. Green, Jets, number 5.
Another computer player.
Computer. Justin Smith.
We already talked about him. We liked him.
Greg Russo.
All right, let's go. Let's look at the Broncos and Greg Russo.
Guess we did forget about this one. We didn't see this one.
All right, so right now, 10 tackles of loss and 13 and a half sacks in this season. Let's see what he's done since he's been a Bronco. So since he's been in Denver, 6 and 9, 9 and 10 and a half, 14 and 13, 12 and 12 and a half, 7 and 12, 10 and 13 and a half. He's been consistently double-digit sacks since his second season in Denver. I like him. I think he would deserve. And I don't know if he's in the top 5, but I like him.
All right. Next would be DeMario Chambers, Texans.
That's another computer game.
Jake Watt, Bills.
All right, so he's gonna be interesting because he's young, but we got to see what he's done in his little career. He's only had a 2-year run right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, so he didn't play at all in 26, his rookie season. Last year in 2027, he had 6 tackles for loss, 7 and a half sacks. Right now, 5 tackles and 14. So a little too young. He's just getting started.
All right. That's the AFC.
That's the AFC. Cool.
Yeah. Go to the NFC. Number 1 is Jeremy Cumberland, Cardinals.
Let's look at Jeremy.
Might be between him, Pat Young, and Chase Young, for real.
All right, let's look at Jeremy Cumberland's career. All right, since 2022, 15 tackle for losses, 11 and a half sacks, 14 and 18, 10 and 25. Then he fell off 8 to 8. Then he came right back 9 and 11. Then last year he had 16 and 28, and right now he got 5 and 17. Oh my God. This motherfucker crazy. Might be looking at the best pass rusher right here.
And then that's what the sad thing about it, the crazy thing about it, even with that, he always got somebody else on the list. He done had, you know what I mean? He got other people on the D-line producing as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead. Next guy.
Angelo Falk.
Angelo Falk. I like that guy. Angelo Falk. He only in his 3rd season right now, so he's like, to me, he came in and he's the same player as Jake Watt. So you're looking at, didn't play at all in 26, but since he's been on the field, 4 tackle for loss, 12 now. He's been double digits since he's been on the field. 12 and 14 and a half right now with 2 games remaining. All right, so just not enough.
Not enough tape.
Not enough tape yet, but in 2 seasons he's been double digits though.
But he headed up. He the second on the list right now. 3rd, you got Pat Taylor, Bears.
All right, we went over. We didn't go over Pat Taylor. We just put his name down. So let's go back to the Bears. See what Pat Teller has done. I mean, he's been a monster since he became a Bear. They got themselves a winner there. Because remember, Khalil Mack bounced, and they couldn't get no pressure from nobody on their D-line until they drafted this kid. All right. So he's every year, except for 2027, he's been double digits. Year 1, 9 and 18.5, 16 and 15.5, 14 and 17. Then he had 9 and 8.5 last year, but that's back up to 18 and 12.5 now. So I like him. I like him a lot. Who's next?
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. He playing D tackle. Go ahead.
Roy Farley, Cardinals.
Another D tackle.
Another D tackle. Dwayne Johnson, Vikes. That's the D tackle, right?
Yeah, he playing D tackle too.
That's Mello.
Mello.
Calvin Green, Vikings.
Vikings is it? Yeah, not enough tape. Only been in the league for 2 years.
Will Lowry, Bears.
D tackle.
Sammy Nicholas, Cowboys.
Where you got him at?
He a DN. He played both. Pass rush D tackle, and then DN, then pass rush D tackle. And then Kenny Mack on the Cowboys.
All right.
Both of those are 9 and 10 on the list.
Kenny Mack, not enough years. And Nichols been in the league for 4 years. He had D tackle right now, so we got to count him as an interior guy.
Young. Both of them.
He only been in the league 4 years, but we can still look at 4 years though. Just he's that D tackle though. Now he's played defense and in the first 2 years though. We'll still look at his numbers. 6, 7 and 6. Then he had 8 and 12.5. 8 and 7, and then 13 and 11.5 last year as a D tackle, and 15. He's playing better at D tackle than he has at DN. That's a fucking problem too at D tackle. All that damn speed. It's smart GMing, smart coaching actually, not GMing. Way to move him. All right. It was the last 2.
Yeah, those 9 and 10. Those are the last 2 D linemen. So I think we pretty much said all them names though, except I guess you had to put Myles Garrett back in that conversation, but he D tackle. And a couple of players just ain't really had enough time. I think most of those names were said. Did we look at what's the other defensive end? Is it Carmichael? Did we look at his number? He's not on this list, but Carmichael from the Bucks.
Yeah, Carmichael for the Bucks.
Carmichael.
Thad Carmichael had a great. He balled out when he was on the Vikings too, though.
Yeah, so that's what we had to look out to see, go look at his longevity and look overall and see what his numbers look like before the Bucks as well.
9.5 as a Viking, 16. Look, 10 and 9.5, 19 and 16, 11 and 9. It's all Minnesota. 16 and 8. Then Tampa Bay's first year, he had 7 and 21, and then 8 and 9 and 12 and 2 right now. He had some stardom seasons, but not consistent enough. Linebackers, whether it's outside or middle, would you say Michael Parsons is the best linebacker in the league? As an outside linebacker, not inside.
Yeah. So he's definitely one of the better pass rushers. I mean, like I said, I don't think you can say no best. It's a tier.
I agree with you. I think it's a tier.
I can't put no
as
best
well.
on nobody.
We talked about safeties. We talked about corners. What teams have you played, Snake? Within the last 3 to 4. Let's just talk about this year. What teams have you played this year where there's somebody been on the field that's been defensively that's been a pain in the ass?
Oh shit. Fucking Saints. The safety Jordan.
Jordan, I like that. I like that. How about you, Max? A player on defense that's
He
been a pain
young,
in the
but
ass that you
he a
played this year.
rangy safety.
I like Jordan. I like Baby Boy, especially at 6'5".
Excuse me. I might go. It's biased, but I might go solo.
I was just gonna say I don't know
This
how you
season,
ain't speaking solo.
this
For
season, yeah, gotta be solo.
like four straight advances, you was talking about how he a fucking pain in the ass. I was like, son,
Yeah, I might go solo this season. Yeah, that nigga is causing me some problems.
Ace Sanders.
say that again.
Yeah.
Ace Sanders.
The little,
Hey,
yeah,
Sanders
that little
5'9", yes
midget, that little
sir.
motherfucker pain in
That
the ass too.
motherfucker will walk your. I don't care who it is. He walking them down.
And that ain't even just a this year thing, but shit, you definitely. That was almost like since a year after he got in the league, once he really started starting, like after a year him being in the league, he kind of like been a little problem over there because he be everywhere too.
When you play the football team, is it Chase Young that's a pain in your ass, or is it number 18 that fucking safety?
I was just about to say it still might be the safe. It might be Terrell, but Isaiah kind of did a
Taking
lot of
over
what
with
18.
Terrell, yeah.
Yeah, but like Terrell able to move the sub linebackers, kind of causing. I think it's causing a little bit of umph. I think next year you'll see like the combination of 18 and Isaiah kind of like shit. But I still might give it to Chase as a force in
Yeah,
itself.
and then even a little bit slightly, you might even, I mean, you kind of like look at Stokes might have really made his might
I don't want to undercut a
because
Stokes
Stokes.
since
did
you
change the
can't.
fucking that
So
defense a
Stokes changed
lot,
his
yo.
defense. So like he had a rush already, regardless. But I think Stokes might be the. I don't know. I think you might really have to say Stokes because even his pass rush and I mean a lot of his defense, he ain't really. It's I don't want. A lot of them play a little play. A lot of them just ball. They play, but I think Stokes might be the. I don't know. You got what you think, Yetta? I mean, just you on here like. Nah, Stokes changed that defense a lot with somebody else that.
Yeah, I mean he changed it as far as being able to match up with these these smokers on offense. You know, he made early reads step up. So I guess his stats don't show the impact that he makes on the game in game out basis, but him being on the field is definitely a game changer for me.
Yeah, when the moment you got him from free agency, it was like the Thad Carmichael effect. Thad Carmichael came to the Bucks and like went dummies and kind of changed that his front four. Stokes did that for your secondary.
He kind of shut down the side of the field. I ain't saying he can't be beat or whatever, but he
What?
shuts down one side of the field, and then even if it looked like he beat, I don't see him recover sometimes. So, like with the quickness, like wow, like I think it's Stokes.
But I don't think nobody's been better than Solo Savage as a defensive player right now because of what he's done for you in games he's won for you, being able to tweener him, being able to move him around and do different things. Like you win the Saints game 20-19 and he wins that game for you at cornerback. He's giving the Eagles and the Giants hell at the sub linebacker package. You know what I'm saying? And at safety, he's giving, I know he gave me a problem at safety when I played you. And corner in that same game. Motherfuckers all over the place. To have a ace, in your back pocket like that you can move around and do things with, puts him in a category where, like, he's really how important is he to you defensively? I would think he's very important, considering what you could do with him.
Man, he kind of like special, bro. He different, and like me being able to play him at the sub linebacker package, let me play a lot more of my younger players, especially like a lot of my rookies. It helped me be able to develop them. So like especially like some of my secondary, my secondary is quite young. So like he can just do a lot. Like you say, he play cornerback, sub, linebacker, safety if I got to, but I think he can still play better. I don't even think he's reached his ceiling yet.
Right.
Let them players get up. Yeah, I think he can play better.
What's been your most comfortable position he's played for you this year? Has it been at the sub, the corner, or the safety?
It's the sub, really, but like I just cause, but it's really like game to game. Like there's some games like what I mean where I have to play him at cornerback. Like it don't. I mean, man, I could say me and you playing. I had to put him at cornerback in a certain play. Lord, when I was playing hitter, like I played hitter, pop cribs. Like there's no way I have to have. Look, as soon as I had another cornerback out there, he walked right by him. I have to have him out there because you know what I mean. In certain games, he played a sub linebacker pattern. It's definitely like a whole game changer. But I just think that as some of them my rookies develop a little bit more, I can leave him in there a little bit more in the sub. I don't have to move him back out. He can still go to that hole. But but I think just moving around, his versatility, he's just real versatile.
Right.
He learned the cornerback position in the first couple of years. Now he started playing a little safety, and as he get his numbers up, and get his game tape on, he got more familiar. We got more faith in him in the middle of the field, and he just like a monster. He crazy out there. And he can't throw over the middle too much because on top of him being fast, he's 6'4". So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, nah, he's a definite problem. Max, I will ask you the same question defensively. Who has been your centerpiece all year?
I don't know if I can say one player for the past 2 seasons. I think I have to go back again to my whole safety room as an entirety. Mainly McCoy and Sanders, but it's like every time I try to like say that, Seth will do some wild shit in an important game and important moment. So I think my whole safeties room in itself has became like the forefront of my defense.
Okay.
We're starting from like safeties down as far as like it goes probably safeties and linebackers and then like maybe my D line. Nah, definitely my D line. I might go safeties, D line, but one of them two.
How about top 10 pick safety, another tweener that could play corner or safety in the league, Daxton Hill, the speed demon for the Titans.
I haven't got the privilege of looking at
Have any of you guys got to face him?
No, I haven't faced him. Man,
I'm going to him right now to see
paper,
what he's been
paper
doing.
wise, number wise, he is immaculate.
I mean, his number, yeah, when it comes down to his ratings, oh my God. But he got 89 tackles, half a sack, two interceptions right now. He got 8 deflections. He's caused a fumble as well, and he's took something back to the crib. We're looking at a guy that, you know, at the safety position.
Second on the Titans in tackles, too.
That's what I'm saying, number 2 on the Titans. He already had 99 speed right now, 98 acceleration. He's a monster. He's going to be able to do whatever he wants back here. If you had this type of guy, knowing that he can play corner, he can play safety, is this a piece you build around if you're the Tennessee Titans?
Yes.
So talk to me, Snake. Talk about the GM situation. Y'all go out and get yourselves a piece like this who end up being second on your team in tackles. How do you build around that? What do you look to do if you're a Tennessee Titan?
Man, you just probably need to make sure he build that front up is built up nice enough to where he can get a little bit more pressure. He just need to start moving him around. Period. He need to move him in the slot, send him on some blitzes, make sure his front line is built up and stout. If he getting a little bit more pressure on the quarterback, even when he got Hill in the back in the secondary, he can get the spots quicker. As fast as he is, when you get that awareness and play rec up even a little bit more, he should dominate the secondary. You should be able to bring him down and send him on some of them blitzes and from the slot and put him on them slot cornerbacks as well. Just because he does, I think he still has Blackman. He still has a couple of other nice safeties back there, veteran safeties. So I think he can afford to move him around.
I think when he comes into next season, he has to look at this guy as a DB that's a shutdown. He has to look at him as a shutdown, rather it's at the safety position or corner position. But if you say, like you said, if he's deep at that safety position, you have to be able to lock this guy on your number one, on guys number ones to take him away. That speed alone is going to make him do some things. That's going to be our next topic, though. We're going to end the show now. But our next topic is going to be that. We're going to talk about some of these teams that, what they could do off of some of the draft picks they picked last year. And you know, if the draft pick they picked last year in the first round was their centerpiece, how do they go forward? And that'll be our conversation coming into the next show. Other than that, we'll holler at y'all on the next show. Holla. Nah, hoodie, I'm not even out of the fucking real